Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And I'm really sorry that I was not able to upload any of new videos because my college was there and I was not able to manage some free time to record and upload my videos. But today I have decided to upload. We are going to start basically a new programming language series, and it is the legendary language. So we are going to start C programming language series, and in this playlist we'll learn everything from basics to the intermediate level, and then we'll go further deep down into C programming language. So let us now get started. So introduction and setting up the environment of our basic text editor, compiler, and we are going to start everything, and we are going to learn everything now in this series. So first of all, the first point that we need to learn or we need to know is why to learn C, because if we don't know why we are learning something, then we cannot learn anything. Okay, so we won't start because we don't know what we want to learn. So that's why first point that we are saying is why to learn C. So C is a mid-level programming language which reduces the gap between low-level and high-level programming. Now, what is mid-level and what is high-level, low-level? So these are all the terminologies that you will often see in computer science. So low-level means the programming language which is more system level. The high level means more of like English readable language or more easy to read language like Python, Java, and low level means assembly languages and all. And C is mid level language. You can interact with you can say low level circuits, or you can work on embedded systems, you can work on low level of computers, and you can also work on high level. So that's why we are on mid level in while programming in C. Then the next point is C language gives you an idea about system and system level operations like memory, then memory blocks, pointers, and all of that. Then applications are embedded systems, operating systems, compiler, and all of such core level operations. So we are going to learn about C now. Okay, so those are the basics and why to learn C and all of those points. And obviously one more thing that I would like to add is C was developed by Bell Labs by Dennis Ritchie and his team, and you can really find a book which is the C programming language and C standards, and that book is really amazing, so you can refer that book as well. So with that, let us start and let us learn how a C compiler works. Now, what is a compiler? So compilation means we are gathering some code, we are gathering the source file. Source file means the program, the actual program file. We are getting the program file, the C compiler works on it, reads the code, and then it transfers, or you can say then the code gets converted into machine readable code, then the machine can process it and we get the output back again in our human readable form. So that's how our C compiler works. So compiler is like in between C source file and your machine. So compiler works as an agent between your source, you can say input and output, or source and the processor. Okay, so now next point is setting up code environment. Now, what is this compiler VS Code and increases productivity? So we are going to use C compiler, which is basically, as we have learned, it is an agent. So that's why we will use that to execute our programs. What is VS Code? So VS Code, if you have watched my Python programming series, then you already know VS Code is a text editor, an amazing text editor by Microsoft, which makes programming a bit easy by adding some of the extensions like IntelliSense and all of that. And using VS Code and those extensions it makes our productivity to increase. So that's why we are going to use all of these things. Now let's get started and see all of this in action. So now we are back in our computer, and now here let us open our Google Chrome and simply search here, download MinGW. What is this MinGW? So MinGW is minimalistic GCC for Windows. So for Windows. So simply search this, download MinGW for Windows, and you can also find the link of this website or in the description below. So search for this, then you will get this website, sourceforge.net. So simply head on to this website and click here on download. So now after clicking on to this download, what we will get is our download will start, and then the process is really easy. So here my download has been completed. So simply open it and simply hit on install, continue, and here it says that it is already installed on my computer, but it will go next when you click on the continue. So I'll simply reinstall this program. So I'll wait for it to finish and I'll come back when the process is finished. So now this process has been finished. So simply hit on continue and you will see this type of interface. So now you have to select these packages, MinGW 32 base. Here I already have these selected, but if you will click on it, you can simply hit on mark for installation and you can mark them for installation. So simply select MinGW 32 base, select MinGW GCC and G++ and select MSys base. Okay, so you have to select these three packages only, but I have selected these packages. If you want to go with this configuration, then you can also proceed with this configuration. Now simply hit on this install option here, and here you can see I have update catalog and mark all upgrades, but you will see apply changes here. Currently this option is disabled for me, but you can see this option here. So simply click on this and then your installation will start and these packages will be installed into your computer. And then after installing this package, what we are going to do, go into the C. Here you will see MinGW. So simply head in to this folder, and here in bin folder you will see this type of files. Now here you have GCC. Now this GCC is compiler for our C that we are going to use. There are many compilers out there, but we are going to use GCC. You will have this folder, this exe file, this application in this local disk C, MinGW and bin. If you have followed my instructions properly, then so simply copy this path from here. Okay, now what we are doing is we are setting up our environment. So we are telling our computer that my GCC is in this folder, is in, you can say it is in this drive C and in my bin folder. So please, when I say GCC, locate that folder from that specific location. So for that we are doing this. Now we are going to set our environment variables. You can either go on here, properties, or you can simply search here like environment variables. So environment variables, simply click here. You will get this type of interface. Click on environment variables, go to path and hit edit. So after going to the path, if you will hit edit, you will see this type of interface where you can hit new and you can paste that path here. I already have that path, so I'm skipping this step. But now after doing this, hit OK, hit OK, hit OK, and that's it. We have installed our GCC compiler successfully. Now if you will open the CMD, okay, so open your command prompt, and now in the command prompt, if you will see, if you will search or if you will type in GCC, you will see this type of error. You can say GCC fatal error, no input files. So this is not error, this is just a warning, or this is error by the GCC. That means our GCC is working successfully. You haven't provided any input files to me, then what can I compile? Okay, so that's why this is showing us the error like fatal error, no input files. So simply ignore this right now. Simply type in GCC and you should see this error. If you don't see this error, then watch the tutorial again and reinstall the GCC. Now after this, we are going to install our VS Code. Now VS Code installation is again very simple. Simply go to Google Chrome and search VS Code download. And here you will see this type of website. So simply head on to the first link and simply click here on Windows, and then it will say thanks for downloading VS Code, and your VS Code setup will start to download. Now after downloading it, you can install it simply because it is very easy to install application, I can say. So that's why I install it and it is very easy. So now after installing it, I'll exit it. Okay, so after installing it, what you will do is you have to open it. So after opening the VS Code, you will see this type of an interface. Now here, hit on file, go to open folder, and from here select a folder, or you can simply create a folder. Okay, so go to new volume and here create a folder. Let's say folder, I'll say C tutorials, and then select this folder. So we are opening a folder where we will create all of our C files, and then we can write our code and execute it here only. Now the next thing that we want to download is go to this extensions tab here. Now in this extensions tab, search for C. Now download this C/C++. Okay, it will help us in IntelliSense. That means if you type, for example, if you type a letter, and then it will auto complete that, and it will make our programming work easier. So download this, then search for code, and you will see this code runner here. So simply download this as well. You can find the install button over here. So install it, and then after installing it, here on this Explorer window, here we have these 4 buttons, where this stands for new file, this stands for new folder, this is for refresh, and similarly. So here we will create a file main.c. So you can name it whatever you want. So we can create name.c, and then from here we will continue to write our code. Here we can write our code. So that was it for today. We will write our first C program in our next video. So stay tuned for the next video, and thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.